I worked one season as a timber surveyor for a logging company in eastern Oregon, and there was a day out in the forest that escalated so quickly it made me stop taking solo assignments. After that, my job was to hike through sections of marked land and tag certain trees. The company planned to harvest later. Most of the time it meant carrying a measuring tape, a tagging gun, and a handheld GPS while walking miles through quiet forest. That morning, I drove out to a tract of land about an hour from the nearest town. It was a thick stretch of pine and fir, with old logging roads cutting through it every few miles. I parked the truck near a faded service gate and started hiking along one of the ridges where the survey markers had been placed earlier in the year. The first couple hours were normal. I measured trunks, stapled small orange tags into the bark, and logged coordinates on the GPS unit. Around midday, I reached a part of the ridge where the forest got denser and the ground sloped down toward a narrow ravine. As I walked past one of the marked trees, I noticed something odd on the trunk. The orange survey tag I had stapled there earlier that morning was gone. The staple was still in the bark, but the tag itself had been torn off. At first, I thought maybe it had snagged on a branch when I walked past earlier. I shrugged it off and stapled another tag into the tree before continuing down the slope. About 10 minutes later, I reached the next survey point and stopped again. The tag on that tree was missing too, that one I knew I had placed, because it was the last one I logged before heading down the ridge. I stepped back and scanned the ground around the trunk, expecting to see the tag lying nearby. Instead, I saw something else, a small pile of orange plastic tags sitting on a rock about 20 feet away. Every tag I had placed along that section of the ridge was stacked neatly in one place. I remember standing there staring at them because there was no way the wind or an animal had done that. Someone had been walking behind me, pulling them off the trees. I picked up the stack and turned slowly in a full circle, looking through the woods. The forest was quiet, except for a faint rustling sound somewhere uphill behind me. It sounded like someone stepping carefully through dry needles. I called out, thinking maybe another survey crew had come through the area. No one answered. The rustling stopped for a moment and then started again a little closer. I moved uphill toward the sound and pushed through a patch of low branches. That was when I saw a man standing about 30 yards away between two trees. He was holding one of the orange tags in his hand and turning it slowly like he had been examining it. When he noticed me looking at him, he dropped the tag and stepped back behind the tree trunk. I told him the area was an active survey site and asked if he needed help finding the road. He did not respond. Instead, I heard him moving again through the trees, heading deeper into the forest. The problem was the direction. He led straight toward the narrow ravine where the ground dropped sharply. I decided to head back toward my truck. Instead of following him, I started moving quickly up the ridge toward the logging road. After about 20 seconds, I heard footsteps again behind me. They were moving at the same pace I was walking. I stopped and turned around, but the trees blocked most of the view downhill. A moment later, a small orange tag flew out from the brush and landed near my boots. Then another one hit the trunk of the tree beside me. Someone was throwing them from somewhere, just out of sight. I grabbed my pack and jogged the rest of the way to the road. When I reached the truck, I threw my gear inside and started the engine. As I pulled away, I glanced into the side mirror toward the line of trees along the ridge. The man had stepped out onto the edge of the road behind me. He was holding the rest of the orange survey tags in both hands. As the truck rolled away, he started stapling them back onto the trees along the road one by one like he was marking the trail I had just used to get out of the forest.